teacher.
O hidden love, embracing all in oneness,
O hidden love, embracing all in oneness,
may each who feels himself as one with thee
may each who feels himself as one with thee
know he is also one with every other.
know he is also one with every other.
Please take your seat. And I would request the audience to put their mobile switch either off or on silent mode.
12 inches gap.
First question.
You will start, you will say introduce and we'll go ahead with the questions.
So we will now start our we will now start the question answer session, and we have received a number of questions. We all three panelists will be handling those questions. So I will request the first question. I'll just read out. This is by, should I read the name? S Patri, Katak. Only one religion, truth and love. The rest are its branches only. Is it possible? Please answer. I would request our panelist.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Dear brothers, we are sitting here as your representatives. Not that we know more or anything like that, but we would try to very humbly submit what is our understanding, and maybe you know better than us. So this is the question which has come from, as Madam read it, only one religion, truth and love, rest or its branches only. Is it possible? Please answer. Yes. Somewhere our respectful Bishop Ledbeater has said, if you have love, you have everything. And love and truth and so many other facets of this. Imagine a place, an octagonal place, 8-sided place. So there could be 8 virtues, 8 gunas. So love is perhaps the supreme, and when that is there, there could be tremendous amount of togetherness when one could really feel. It should be in one's heart, as we say in the first object of our brotherhood. You form a nucleus of universal brotherhood, so the nucleus is in one's heart. So heart is full of love, nothing else but love, then everything else finds its place there. And when I spoke about the motto other day when I had the opportunity, truth also means so many other facets which are included in it. Suppose you imagine a tree now with so many branches and leaves. So everything has something to say. So all these virtues, all these qualities like truth, love, compassion, all these are the same, coming from the same compassion, love and truth. So they are all together. So that one religion means religion which is all bringing us together. So this is based on truth and love. So rest are all branches. So what are all the rest? You can imagine anything and everything. Everything else will fall in place. So this is perhaps the way to look at it. If you have love, you have everything. If you have truth, you have everything. So this is something which is of paramount importance. So one religion which comprises of truth and love, and this is something which we have to develop from within. It's nothing external about it. It's something which we develop from within. I leave it for Madam.
Thank you so much, Brother Krishna. Since we are to take many questions, so I think one view, it is sufficient to understand things. Now I will go on to the second question. Hindutva kya hai? This is by SBR Mishra, Gorakhpur. I will request Brother Pandey to answer on this subject.
Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. The question put by Mishra ji, हिंदुत्व क्या है? हिंदुत्व जो शब्द है जो आजकल इस्तेमाल हो रहा है, the हिंदुत्व word is not a proper word according to my perception. The only term for Hinduism is Hinduism or Hindu Dharma. और जितने हमारे हिंदू धर्म के मनीषी हुए हैं, whoever have been knowledgeable persons of Hinduism, Hindu Dharma, like Swami Vivekananda, like Swami Dayanand, what they are saying. Real Hindu, pure Hinduism, pure Hindu Dharma is Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. Vivekananda in his talk on practical Vedanta, as I quoted my talk, practical Vedanta, Hindu Dharma. That is what he says very clearly. And he also says that all the religious teachings are superstitions, only realization of oneness with all. That is the Advaita Vedanta, and that is the real Hindu Dharma, that is the real Hindutva. If we are following some other concept, propagating some other concept of Hindutva, that is only superstition we are creating. We are creating something, disbelief in real Hinduism, real Hindutva. And that's why this division and trouble comes when we misinterpret it, the real dharma of anyone, maybe Hindu dharma, Islam dharma, Christian dharma. When it is misrepresented, mispresented, then trouble comes. That's why theosophy teaching always very emphatically says we have to go to root of our dharma teaching, and root is Hindu dharma or Hindutva is Advaita Vedanta, oneness with all. Thank you.
Thank you, Panditji. Now I'll take the third question. What are the steps going to be taken by the Indian section to propagate theosophy amongst the new generation? This is the first question, and this I would like to take, being the member of this section headquarter working here. Well, for propagation of theosophy, lot of work is already being done. And as you all will agree, that now we have come to a stage where our next step is not very far off to merge with the universe, to the universal consciousness. So it is our bounden duty to, whatever we have got, if we can impart it to the new generation. So towards that direction, we have already started working, and we want to work even more closely with the new generation. We have already started value-added course in our graduation by our college, Vasant Kanya Mahavidyalaya, and you will be happy to know that for this we are involving great theosophists. Those who know the subject very well, they are getting involved and presenting theosophy in a practical day-to-day life. Because what we tell the children, which will really help them in going ahead in life. Like, I always tell them that, look, you all are now, these are all girls. So you are all now aspiring to take a career. And I think this value-added course will help you in facing that challenge. How? Becoming strong from inside. Once you are strong from inside, there is no problem in handling the challenges of anywhere. So this is the first step. You know, I not being very, very well versed, because I joined it little later, so I take the classes for meditation, which help them. So this is the first step. Even we are now trying to bring it at the down level, nursery level, also the boys' school. This is the first step. Secondly, we are working with many federations, trying to give them lot of inputs, lot of fund for propagating it in the same way to the next generation. So these are the few steps, and then I also will tell you that I always feel that charity begins from home. So we all, as you will notice, for organizing this such a big convention, we are not having many people, but the kind of, you know, brotherhood we have to the lowest worker also, we are, you know, just treating them as equal. So naturally they are very inspired. So here the environment is such that people, by their own example, they are just, transmitting this feeling in the environment, in the people around. So this is my answer to this question. And do Theosophy encourage donation of human organs? On this, would you like to say something, please?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. There are a lot of people who believe that we should be useful till we cease to exist. And there are some people who believe that something of us can also be useful after we cease to live. So there are a lot of people who donate eyes, but there are also a lot of other people who are donating other vital organs, which are very useful and can be put into the other person who lacks them. So perhaps, yes, you have the tremendous love towards humanity, and perhaps you can see through their eyes maybe for another 50 or 60 years more. Perhaps that's one reason. And besides the fact, scientifically or technologically, it's possible to implant your eyes into another person's eyes who lacks that vision. I think it requires tremendous amount of giving. You don't know who is going to have your eyes, but you still love the entire humanity as such. So I guess from that point of view, whatever you give, whenever you give, whatever you can give, I think, yes, you're living for humanity, and part of this perhaps is donating the organs. Thank you.
Should I read the question?
Thank you, brother. So next question, since I was not very, I could not read it well, so I have just given it to Sri Pandey ji to just read it and give the answer.
Okay. Question is put by Colonel Kailash ji of Noida Lodge. He says, Theosophy has no gender distinction. Then why we call some person brother, some person sister? We are just walking, and he told me that I have put this question, and just by chance this question has come to me, not to Brother Krishna. So, brothers and sisters, this is only just tradition. And now, particularly, some people are becoming sensitive to it, particularly in Western countries. Our fundamental third objective, to investigate hidden laws of nature and latent potential of every man. It was man earlier. The members of the American Theosophical Society, they said, no, it is not correct. Where is women? What about latent potential of women? So they had a lot of debate. Tim Boyd himself told me. And finally, they amended at their own level the third objective, latent potential of every human being. That was amendment. In fact, I suggested, why now you are international president, why don't you amend that for a whole society. But he said, Mr. Pandey, it requires a lot of reconciliation of various opinions and all those things. We'll see in due course time. So,
Brother Krishna would like to give his views on this.
Just add a bit supplement. I'm not saying anything. Until the middle of the third root race, there were no two separate sexes as such, male and female. It's only after the third, 3.5 root races, then we have had this difference, a man and a woman. So when we say man, as Brother Pandey has said, woman is already included. So in most of the places, in various places in our literature, when we say man, it also includes women. It's also stated a number of times. So it goes without saying, man means woman, brother means sister, sister also perhaps means brother. This is how I look at it.
I would like to add something on this, और वो मैं हिंदी में बोलूँगी. ऐसा है कि हम अगर वेदांत की दृष्टि से भी देखें, तो हम लोग जो पंचकोश से निर्मित हैं, अन्नमय कोश, प्राणमय कोश, मनोमय कोश, आनंदमय कोश, and अंतिम is परमानंद. So when you जब तक आप अन्नमय कोश और प्राणमय कोश और मनोमय कोश तक है, तभी तक ये द्वय है. ये द्वय खत्म हो जाता है as soon as you reach आनंदमय कोश. Yes, in between मनोमय कोश, then विज्ञानमय कोश, and then आनंदमय कोश. As soon as you reach to the आनंदमय कोश, ये द्वय दंड खत्म हो जाते हैं. वहां कोई लिंग और लिंग भेद नहीं रह जाता है. इनफैक्ट अल्टीमेटली लिंग भेद सब सिद्धांतों में, सब शास्त्रों में कहा गया है कि एट वन स्टेज पर जाकर ये लिंग भेद खत्म हो जाता है. तो ये लिंग भेद अब तो विज्ञानमय कोश तक रहता है, आनंदमय कोश में ये लिंग भेद खत्म हो जाता है. धन्यवाद. अब मैं अगला क्वेश्चन लेती हूँ, जो कि मध्य प्रदेश राजस्थान फेडरेशन से महेश देव जी ने लिखा है, और ये हिंदी में लिखा है उन्होंने. थियोसॉफिकल पहला क्वेश्चन है. 4 क्वेश्चंस उन्होंने दिए हैं और कुछ उन्होंने सजेशंस भी दिए हैं. थियोसॉफिकल विचारधारा के प्रचार प्रसार हेतु सामग्री इंडियन सेक्शन द्वारा उपलब्ध करवाई जाए. This is his suggestion. So this is a very good suggestion and we are also going in this direction. अनेक भाई बहनों को अंग्रेजी भाषा नहीं आती है, इसलिए वो भी ज्ञान चर्चा से लाभान्वित हो. इसलिए वक्ता के उद्बोधन का हिंदी से अंग्रेजी और अंग्रेजी से हिंदी के भाषांतरण ट्रांसलेशन किया जाए. इस दिशा में आप लोगों को पता होगा कि ये दिस इन्वॉल्व्स एक्सपेंडिचर. एंड आप लोगों को जैसे पता है, इस बार के कन्वेंशन में एवरीथिंग इज फ्री. अकोमोडेशन, खाना, एवरीथिंग वी हैव केप्ट फ्री. तो ये ट्रांसलेशन एंड ये करवाना विच इन्वॉल्व एक्सपेंडिचर संभव नहीं था. और मैं बहुत खुश हूँ कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा यहाँ पर वक्ताओं ने इंग्लिश के साथ साथ उसको हिंदी में भी उसके साथ उन्होंने एक्सप्लेन किया है जगह जगह पर. इनफैक्ट हम लोगों की अपनी विचारधारा, कल पांडे साहब ने बहुत अच्छी बात कही, हमको थोड़ा अपना वो खोलना पड़ेगा, अपनी विचारधारा को थोड़ा ब्रॉड. जब हम थियोसॉफिस्ट हैं तो हम लोगों को हमेशा ये कहना कि आप सबको हिंदी आनी चाहिए, सब अगर हिंदी नहीं आती तो आप भारतीय नहीं हैं. तो इस तरह की जो विचारधारा है इसको हमें बदलना है. जब अगर कोई हिंदी नहीं बोलता है तो हम ट्राई करते हैं कि हम उनके साथ किसी तरह से इंग्लिश में टूटी फूटी अंग्रेजी भी हो तो हम उनसे बोलते हैं. और जिनको अंग्रेजी हिंदी नहीं आती है वो भी ऐसा ही करते हैं. इसलिए जैसे कि उन्होंने कल बताया कि इवन भारत सरकार ने भी ये जो 3 लैंग्वेज का किया है, तो हम लोगों को थोड़ा उदार बनना है. और इसके अलावा हम इस विषय पर जागरूक हैं, क्योंकि अभी आप लोगों को पता होगा पिछले जब हमारे प्रेसिडेंट साहब ने अपना रिपोर्ट पेश किया तो उन्होंने बड़े साफ शब्दों में आप इन्फॉर्म किया और खुशी के साथ कि अब हमारी इंडियन थियोसॉफीज हिंदी में भी ट्रांसलेट हो रही है। इससे बड़ी चीज़ और क्या हो सकती है, क्योंकि हमारे जितने लेख हैं वो बहुत थियोसॉफी लिटरेचर से एकदम क्लोजली रिलेटेड रहते हैं। उसको हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट करके हिंदी भाषी क्षेत्र में पहुंचाने का काम अभी हम लोगों ने शुरू किया है, जो निश्चय ही प्रशंसनीय है। ये दूसरी बात। और उद्बोधन के विषय सरल रखे जाएं, जिससे दैनिक जीवन में टीएस की उपयोगिता लोग जाने, वो सोसाइटी से जुड़े। इनफैक्ट ये बहुत अच्छा सजेशन है और ऐसा ही होता है। इनफैक्ट हर व्यक्ति, आपने देखा होगा, जितने वक्ता हैं वो सब दैनिक जीवन तक उसको ले आने के लिए प्रयत्नशील रहे। चाहे इवन कल हम लोगों ने यंग थियोसॉफिस्ट को भी सुना, जिसमें उन्होंने बताया कि थियोसॉफी डेली लाइफ में कैसे लाया जा सकता है। इनफैक्ट सबसे बड़ी बात तो ये है कि ये हर व्यक्ति को अपने लेवल पर, देखिए ठीक क्या है और ठीक क्या नहीं है हम सबको पता है। कोई इतना बेवकूफ नहीं है या कोई इतना अबोध नहीं है कि उसको पता ना हो कि क्या ठीक है क्या ठीक नहीं है। उसको अगर हम अपनी जिंदगी में ठीक को अगर हम लागू करें अपनी जिंदगी में, इंस्टेड ऑफ लुकिंग एट अदर्स, आई थिंक दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप टुवर्ड्स थियोसॉफी। आप थियोसॉफी की तरफ आप काफी पग में आगे बढ़ जाएंगे। तो इसलिए हम लोगों को सबको थियोसॉफी किस तरह से हमारी दिनचर्या में आ सकती है, वो हमारे व्यवहार से जरूर परिलक्षित होना चाहिए। जैसे हमारे गुरु कहते थे कि जो आचार है, जो आचरण है, वो इस बात की सूचना देता है कि आप ध्यान की गहराई में आप कितना डूब चुके हैं। तो आपका आचरण ऐसा होना चाहिए कि तो थियोसॉफी आपके आचरण में परिलक्षित हो। तो आगे वो लिखते हैं कि ट्रेनिंग कैंप का आयोजन हो, जिससे हम नए लोगों को टीएस में कैसे जोड़े सीख पाए। इसका तो ट्रेनिंग कैंप का जो जगह जगह पर आयोजन हो रहा है, हमारी इंटरनेशनल प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर दीपा पाधी ने भी मुझे इस बात के लिए कहा कि यहाँ पर अब ट्रेनिंग कैंप्स होने चाहिए, और मैं इसके बारे में उनको 100% सपोर्ट करती हूँ और इस दिशा में हम काम भी करेंगे। ये क्वेश्चन इनका हो गया। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज यूनिवर्सल ब्रदरहुड। तो यूनिवर्सल ब्रदरहुड पर इन्होंने कितने क्वेश्चंस, मेरे ख्याल से 5 क्वेश्चंस डाले हैं। इनका नाम है दुर्योधन साहू, कटक लॉज, उड़ीसा। तो अभी ये एक एक क्वेश्चन है। पहला क्वेश्चन मैं कृष्णा जी को सौंपना चाहूंगी। व्हाट इज लाइफ अकॉर्डिंग टू थियोसॉफी?
Before taking up this question for answering, regarding translations, since I grew up at Adyar, I used to see during the international conventions, the gentleman who is there available in our midst, not Adikeshwa, but there's somebody else, who used, some Shetty, his Jagraj Shetty, I remember his name now. He used to do this translation into Kannada, and some more group of people who would assemble and put it into Oriya. And some more people used to translate that into the convention lecture into Telugu. So a lot of translation used to happen. But of late in the international conventions, simultaneously you get to hear, if you want Telugu, you can hear Telugu. If you want to hear Hindi, you can hear Hindi. That arrangement has been made. But here, for the first time since we are holding it, yes, I think we have had too tight a program, so there was not much of gap in between. Had we planned for this gap, maybe we could have thought in terms of translation ke liye time. So perhaps next time, when we organize this elsewhere or here, we should think of that, translations. And then coming back to the question which has been allotted to me, what is life according to theosophy? When you see the 7 principles of theosophy, life principle is there. prana tattva, as we call it, the life principle. That is there, which is permeating in everything. And HPP says there's not even one atom which hasn't got life. Atom or mini atom, everything is full of life. So life is something which is permeating here, everywhere, and everything, even in Paramanu, smaller size of Anu. So life is a thing which is available, a concept which is available, as a principle which is available, which has been made very clear by Madam Blavatsky when she mentioned the principle, life principle, prana tattva, the physical, the astral, and the third she talks about the prana tattva. So that life principle is permeating around us, within us, without us, in everything around we see. So Theosophy talks very extensively about this life principle.
The next question is, what is it to live? Would you like to answer? Pandeyji would like to answer this question. What is Theosophy to live?
What is it to live? बहुत ही गंभीर प्रश्न है ये. What is to live? Now, live can be various levels, at physical level, at astral level, and mental level, and buddhic level. There is one quotation in Bible: to live, to die is to live is to die. That means whatever physical living is there, जो इंद्रियों का सुख में फिजिकल लेवल है, उसके प्रति अगर हम मर जाते हैं, उससे डिटैच हो जाते हैं, then that is real living. So the meaning of to live will apply to individual person at what level he wants to live, he is living. If a person involved only in physical life, material life, for him to live in the physical comfort, in the comfort of the senses, that is for him to live, the real meaning for him to live. The person who has a little advanced and knows everything, spirituality, he knows that physical living or to live in physical level, physical comfort, is not real living. Real living is something else. Then he renounces things. And as he moves up, he renounces. As we say that, we say physical body is not, I'm not a mental body, I'm not buddhi body, I'm unit consciousness, pure Satchitananda. So that is the real living, that is to live at the real level. And all of us, every soul, every monad is moving that direction according to theosophical teaching, as most of you know. So real living, the real living, to live really, we are moving upwards. We are whatever living at the moment, we are relative living at various places. That is why also the truth, ultimate truth, we are not realizing. We are realizing relative truth, because our living is also relative. So this is the, in brief, the meaning of to live.
Can I say something
please.
theosophically about it?
Please.
Yeah. In the theosophical literature we have the lower quaternary and the upper triad. The upper triad is something which is always living. Atma, Buddhi, Manas. Manas here means the higher Manas. This upper triad continuously lives till what time? Till this individual soul merges with the universal soul, when the obligatory journey, as HPP says, is complete. So these four, the lower quaternary, they fall away at different points of time. So life continues and man continues. Man means woman also. I'm sorry, the previous questioner wanted that. So man and woman, or even all the things which we think physically they are dying, but all of them are living and the life moves on. So upper triad is continuous process of living, and till such time the obligatory journey is over, he is there, he is living. This is something which I wanted to supplement, Pandeyji.
Thank you, Brother Krishna. Now the next question is there any difference between existing and living? Well, if you want me to handle this, I will handle it from, pardon?
Yes.
I will handle it from a different perspective, in the sense not from the theosophy side, as somebody suggested, it should be brought into the daily life. So now I will answer it in a very practical manner. Is there any difference between existing and living? Now the thing is, what is existence? Why have we come here? This is a very important question. The entire existence on this earth is for some purpose, and everybody has come here with some chapter with him, which he has to complete in this journey. We are all living our chapter, living according to the chapter assigned to us. And how is this chapter come? This chapter has come from sanskaras, from many births which we have brought, karmas which we have brought. So they only, produce in us the kind of sanskaras which goad us to work, which goad us to behave, and which also goad us to go to Purusharth, where we try to grow. As you all know, the entire universe is here to ultimately, we all are here to go to the ultimate spiritual growth. Ultimate growth, we are for that. So this is existence. And what is living? How do you निभाओ it? उसको कैसे निभाते हो आप? जो आपको लिविंग के साथ जो आप आए हो, एग्जिस्टेंस जिसके लिए लेके आए हो, उसको आप कैसे निभाते हो? This is living. You have been given a chapter, you have given some sanskaras to live, and how do you nibhao it? You have some kind of purushartha in your hand. आप किस डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हो? आप अगर अपने कर्मास आप चेंज कर सकते हो, या आप अपने आगे वाले आने वाले फ्यूचर के लिए आप ग्रोथ की तरफ जा रहे हो. This is, according to me, is living. Now I have explained it at a very, very practical level. I will ask my two co-panelists to answer it first to Brother Pandey.
Question third one.
Is there any difference between existing?
Between existing and living. Existing at whatever level exist. For example, if I am very fond of eating and I'm enjoying some particular dish, so my existence at that level, enjoying that food. If I'm in natural scenery beauty, I'm interested in natural scenery, that my existence at that level, I'm going to emotional level. The existence is at every level. But when living comes, then we become aware of the existence. In only existence, we are not aware. We are just mechanical living. That's why it is said that all the people are just asleep or dead because they are not aware of the inner conditions. That's why the importance of mindful meditation, सजगता का ध्यान का important है कि हर एक स्टेज में हम सजग हैं. Then that is real living. Then we transform from existence to living. For example, I quoted the first food. I'm consuming a delicious dish, some sweet and all those things. If I am just eating, I'm not aware what is the taste, how it is going to affect my body, whether it is affecting my emotions and body, what feeling is coming towards the person who has cooked it, then that is real living. Similarly, if I'm seeing a scene and just existence there, just aware there, so it is existence. But existence is also useful at different levels. And then when we are conscious, when you are aware of the beauty of the scenery or the food prepared, then that is real living. Similarly, it goes at a mental level. If I am just reading the book, but not trying to contemplate, so that is existence at mental level. But if you are trying to go deeper into contemplation, so that is living at mental level.
Would you like
Yeah.
to add something?
I would take a cue from what Madam Ji has said and Master Pandey Ji has said. living, I'm living without realizing the fullness of what all is possible from within, what are all their faculties which are there within me. I mean, that's just, that is existing. Existing without realizing the faculties which are there within me. The faculty of listening, the faculty of understanding, and faculty of trying to put that understanding into life. I don't understand all that. I'm just existing, merely passing time. But when I'm living, I seem to be realizing my faculties. I understand what exactly it means to live and carry on that essence of what I've understood into life. That is living.
Now, the third question, these three questions after posing, the person has written, please explain above questions in relation to universal brotherhood. What are the paths we follow? The universal brotherhood in our daily life, whether the universal brotherhood can help us to be a good human beings in our society. I think we have already covered all this while answering this question.
Yes.
So we would not like to add, because without reading his further thing, I think we have already taken the call. Now the next question is, relationships are the mirrors in which factual reality of our psychological state gets reflected without our knowing. You would like to answer this?
Yes. Relationships are the mirrors in which the factual reality of our psychological state gets reflected without our knowing. Yes, relationship is very important, and modern study shows that 90% problems of human being is because of improper relations. Maybe within family members, maybe between husband and wife, maybe between parent and child, maybe with our neighbor. So 90% of problems today is due to relations.
Maybe there are some more lessons to learn. So to me, the relationship is very important. It is very crucial for our growth in life. Thank you. I will pass it on to Krishna.
I just would like to say one statement of Jiddu Krishnamurti Ji, I would say Jiddu Krishnamurti Ji, who said life is relationship. Of course, this is a quotation, but you can go on meditating on it. In so many ways, this sentence, it has so much of meaning, depth of meaning. Life is a relationship. That's all.
Thank you, Krishna ji. Now, next question is whether this statement is correct in the aspect of universal brotherhood, or any other meaning is depicted by this statement. Which statement I wanted to say? I think that he is referring to the earlier statement, that is, relationships are the mirrors in which factual reality of our psychological state gets reflected without our knowing. In this regard, he is asking whether it is correct that universal brotherhood, this aspect is included here, or the meaning is depicted something else. I think we have amply explained this question, and then it is up to you to decide whether you think some other way. We as a panelist, we think in the same way what we have spoken about it. So now I am done with Brother Duryodhan Sahu. Now I come to the next question. The next question is universal. This question is from Dr. Meeta D. Chakravarti. I think Meeta. Calcutta. So the first question is, universal brotherhood had been introduced with various religions, but theosophy had been started by a renowned lady named Madame Blavatsky in USA in 1875. And then in India, pioneered by Annie Besant in India. But no orator has mentioned to sisterhood or womanhood.
Very good. Talk to good.
I will pass on this question to other panelists, but I think we are stuck with the question of womanhood and manhood. In fact, there is no, as I said, that it is in our mind. If I keep on thinking, I am a woman, so I can't do this. He's a man, he can do this. So we are stuck with this question. We have to go above it. No question of women and men. We are all children of one consciousness, one power. And we should realize we should go beyond this. In fact, that is the only answer. Always thinking that he has not mentioned or he has not done, anybody has not spoken about the sisterhood. I think the problem is with our thinking. So we have to change our thinking. I don't consider, I have been working and I have always, if I consider myself as a man, when I'm functioning, I think, there is no difference. I behave like this. If somebody's mind is working in that direction, then only this thing becomes very apparent. I'm explaining it in my day-to-day life because I have worked with thousands of men being only one lady. But I have never found any problem because I never thought that I'm a lady and he's a man. So this is in our mind and we should be working in the same, with the same idea, feeling. Then there will be a lot of harmony, I think so. I would like Brother Krishna to answer this.
I would like to say it with, see, we have that Ardhanarishwara Tattva. There is a half man and half woman. So man means woman, woman also means, so that's indivisible. There are certain things which are more. Suppose a man melts when he sees a particular sentimental scene in a movie. There is a lot of sheeness which is coming about. And there is a lady who is feeling very, very courageous when she sees a particular scene from Shivaji's movie, Chhatrapati Shivaji's movie. That means that courage, which is perhaps which we associate with a man, that's coming up. So these two facets, the sisterhood and the brotherhood, are all together. There is no division.
Very true, very true. So I'll go on to the next question. Pandeyji? Okay. Theosophical movement had been contributed to Indian struggle movement in early 19th century. I earnestly request to these Indian famous orators to mention. Please read it. I am unable to read it. The handwriting is very bad.
This one?
This one, yes.
Okay. Question is, theosophical movement had been contributed to the Indian struggle movement, probably he means freedom struggle, in early 1970, 19th century, continuing in the earnestly request to these Indian famous persons to be mentioned.
Well, question is not very clear, but still.
Probably the questioner, Mr. Chauhan, what he means to say that Chakravarti, that leaders like Annie Besant, who took prominent role in Indian struggle movement, her name is not mentioned when we mention freedom struggle fighters and all those things. For example, आजकल जो आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव आ रहा है उसमें तो अन्नी बेसेंट का नाम नहीं है, नेहरू जी का नाम हट गया है. So this is just probably we are not aware of their contribution. और एक और चीज़ है इसमें, हम लोग भारतीयों में थोड़ा सा कई अवगुण हैं. उसमें एक अवगुण यह है कि अगर कोई फॉरेनर कंट्रीब्यूशन अच्छा कर रहा है तो हम अपने को श्रेष्ठ समझते हैं, उसको नाम नहीं लेते हैं. So that is also psychology has worked probably. This is my assessment. Otherwise, there was no reason why Annie Besant was not prominently, should not have prominently mentioned in the history book of freedom struggle along with the Mahatma Gandhi. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi had a lot of regard for Annie Besant, and he has said at one place, if credit for spreading the awareness of Swarajya to every house can be given to one person, that is Annie Besant. So the following scholars or politicians have not followed that spirit of Mahatma Gandhi, and that is why it is omission. But I agree, yes, Annie Besant's name should appear, and there also fully.
Most of the people who have heard history or have read history, 1857, Sipai Mutiny, there is one lady who fought, Jhansi Lakshmi Bai. I think we have read about her, all of us have read about her in our school books. I think it's not that she is not getting mentioned, but there is a process over which, the time, all these new people, they take over. The old order yieldeth place to new. So all those wonderful people who have contributed, there are so many people who have contributed. There are so many women who have contributed for the getting Swarajya, leave alone Madam Annie Besant, who introduced that home rule concept. But there are a lot of other people who have done it. There is one Mallu Swarajyam who passed away recently in Andhra Pradesh. She has gone to jail. She has been beaten by police. So it is not that everybody knows about her, but she has contributed. See, we look for contribution, recognition here by the mortals, but the real recognition is there.
True, very true. Now, the next question, happy to note the initiatives on young theosophists, their participation in 131st Convention. Thank you. We have been working on this, and that is how it has come up. And question, are there any future plans for a national annual convention with addresses, speeches, sessions only by young theosophists? This question is from Sanjay Ramdas Kambekar. KTS. Yes, Karnataka. Now, I'll just say only one sentence about this. Yes, we have future plans, but the thing is that you will agree that the important address or the speech sessions which is being held here today in this convention, the responsibility has been given to the senior people. Those who understand things for so many years, and they have tried to cover those issues. And it is for the young theosophists to learn from that, and so that they become capable of handling the speeches, important speeches on this such, huge convention forum. So I think they will take some time to grow and learn and then do this job. So this is my thinking about this. I would like to ask first Krishna ji.
See, yours truly, that's me. I'm a product of Youth Lodge. I joined when I was young, this body being young. So I joined when the youngsters were all members of the Theosophical Society. We didn't have that great division, the Adult Lodge, the Youth Lodge and all that. We were also conducting the Inter-Lodge Conference, and I will tell you a beautiful event. And when we went to invite Brother Sri Ram, who was our president, to our Inter-Lodges Conference, which we hosted, you know something? He came behind us up to the lift to see us off. Can you expect an 80-year-old man to come along with us? Me and another girl were talking to each other animatedly. Oh, so quickly he agreed. So wonderful that he said he has agreed. So we just looked, he was there behind. Such concern was there, there was no division. Adult Theosophists. Somebody would put that question next. Why young Theosophists and why adult Theosophists and all that? There is no division. We had youth conventions from 69. I was in fact some of the persons who have organized those conventions. Pre-convention means before the actual convention starts on 26th, we used to have a youth convention. So that way we have started. Number of girls who are from Bangalore, Vijay Lakshmi, who is there from Salem now, she used to be a member of that group. So we know we have been doing youth lodge work or young theosophists work, and in 1975 there was one whole day session done by the youngsters. Just for the sake of saying that we also can contribute. That is all. Not that we can contribute. We also can contribute. That's the way we move forward.
Now, you also? Yes. Ms. Pandey also would like to speak, please.
You know, who is young? Theosophy believes it is soul's age which matter. There may be young soul in older body. There may be older soul in young body. Theosophical teaching, esoteric teaching, that is applies to the soul, not to the body. So we should not too much emphasis on young and old division, as Brother Krishna says. This should be mixed one, but younger people should be encouraged, not studied. My own personal experience shows, because I have encouraged some young persons, and one of them, or few of them, they want to study Isis Unveiled, Secret Doctrine. And I gave them a copy and they showed interest. Of course, they don't have time now, they are busy in the occupation, all those things. So should we call them young man or old man or young soul or old soul? I personally feel they are old soul. They immediately got the interest in Isis Unveiled and Secret Doctrine. So if we separate young man completely, convention separately, they may not have this advantage of intermixing of knowledge. So the present practice of convention having common is very correct, but young persons should be encouraged. Otherwise, tomorrow somebody say, why not separate convention for women, separate convention for men? So that will not be correct. Some special program for young people has to be there, but not the convention level.
Now the next question is from R.C. Patnaik. He is from?
Bhubaneswar.
Utkal, yes. Utkal Federation. His question is related to the third objective of our theosophy. Third motto of our Theosophical Society suggests attempts towards exploration of unexplained laws of nature and latent talent in man. In this aspect, our society perhaps is running behind expectation. Theoscience is an approved wing of our society. How we have planned to progress in this regard, which can make attractive theosophy to our young students of theosophy. So I think Brother Krishna can explain about this theoscience. Other aspect I will handle.
Yeah.
But what?
Yeah, we had a theosophical science study group at Adyar. A lot many know perhaps Dr. A. Kannan. He used to be in charge of that. And now one Pradeep Jaiswal, who is a retired police officer, he is doing that particular program. And there are a lot of other federations also who are taking initiative in trying to correlate theosophy and science. If you study science by itself and say these are all the scientific revelations, and the same thing your theosophy also said, that means that's not the right way of presenting it. Correlate theosophy, correlate even mythology to theosophy, yes, well done. But if you still simply study Ramayana and walk away from there, that's not theosophical. Correlate it. So theosophy and science correlated well, because that's what she wanted. It's a synthesis of religion, philosophy and science. So scientific mind, analytical mind is something which we are all endowed with. We should carry on with that. Yeah.
So I would just like to add that when he says in this regard, I mean in this search of unexplained laws of nature, why society is running behind the expectation, I would say that there is, I think, some lack of effort from our side. We are not able to devote sufficient time to ourselves in this world, in this, huge running of the society, so much of chaos around, life has become a total chaos. So perhaps इन कारणों से हमें अब we are not able to concentrate, giving some time to ourselves so that we become able to understand these, explore, not only add experience. So the need of the hour is that we should devote some time to ourselves to reach to that, unexplained loss. Thank you. I'll pass it on to Pandeyji.
This question that we are behind in case of third object, that means to investigate hidden laws of nature and latent potential human being, has been raised earlier also and much earlier also. Why it is apparently we lagging? We are not lagging actually. In earlier days and even now, I see that some people when they read the third object, they take it meaning as developing siddhis. One person in Lucknow, young person came to me and he had read this thing and occultism and all those things. So he said, sir, मैं तो थियोसॉफिकल सोसाइटी ज्वाइन करना चाहता हूँ. हमने पूरा आपका क्या उद्देश्य है, क्या इंटरेस्ट है? वो मैंने सुना है आप लोग सिद्धियाँ सिखाते हैं. तो हमने कहा भाई हमारे यहाँ सिद्धियाँ सिखाया नहीं जाता बल्कि डिस्करेज किया जाता है, क्योंकि सिद्धियाँ अगर पहले आ जाएंगी तो उसका मिसयूज होगा. सो इसलिए वो ये पहले से है. WQ जज के इसमें एहुम के टाइम से ही वाज आल्सो इंसिस्टिंग ऑन ओपनिंग ए स्कूल ऑफ सिद्धीज एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. So that was discouraged. But it is going on. Individual person who does serious study, who does serious meditation, who does selfless service, his faculties do develop, anybody can experience. So that is left to the individual person to judge himself, to study himself, how much latent potential is developing, how much hidden laws of nature is understanding. It is individual experience. And that progress is going on. We can see that, our own experience and others' experience. But to encourage as a school or as a group, there will be a risk that people will tend to go to siddhis development, which will be very, very harmful, dangerous. That is why Blodsky says, practice of occultism is very difficult, is very dangerous. First you study the theory, and theosophy is making us to study theory. In that study, whatever we can develop, we can feel, and we can practice in life.
Now the next question, हिंदी में है. अरविंद नखरे जी, प्रेसिडेंट विक्रम लॉज, उज्जैन. परम सत्ता के गूढ़ रहस्यों की अभिव्यक्ति अनिर्वचनीय है, अकथनीय है, पर परम ब्रह्म के गूढ़ रहस्यों को फील करना मानव का धर्म है. वी ऑल अग्री विद दिस. किंतु इसके बावजूद भी मानव इन रहस्यों की अनदेखी करता है. क्या थियोसॉफी इसके लिए अलार्म बजाता है? मेरा तो इसका एक ही आंसर होगा, थियोसॉफी को अलार्म बजाने से पहले खुद का अलार्म खुद बजा लेना चाहिए. बिकॉज वी हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी ऑलवेज अलाइव एंड हैव दैट इनसाइड थिंग to listen to that. Nobody can make you do anything unless you yourself are willing to do that. You are inspired to do that. तो अंदर का अलार्म सबसे पहले बजना चाहिए. इसके बाद तो थियोसॉफी बजाएगा ही, बजा भी रहा है, क्योंकि उसके पर वो केवल सुनने से नहीं होगा, कुछ करना पड़ेगा. I will ask Brother Krishna to further elaborate it.
I believe time is up. But quickly rounding it off, all these three objects which we talked about, first, second and third, they're all individual. I subscribe to them and then sign the form. I very carefully understand to create a nucleus of universal brotherhood, to make comparative study of religion, philosophy and science, to explain the unexplained laws of nature and powers lead. They are all individualistic. In the sense, I do a lot of effort, sadhana, and then, yes, I don't talk about it if I, as he used the word siddhi, if I get some siddhis, I will not talk, I got this, I got that. We will not talk about it. And that's the way to progress. That's the way to progress. If somebody approaches you, maybe yes, you can help them. This could be the way. Don't say this is the way, because we are not dogmatic practitioners. We only suggest a way.
Arvind Nakhre, जल्लाद जज के ऑर्डर पर कैदी को फांसी लगाकर, फंदा लगाकर गॉन टू पीस कहते हैं। थ्योरी के ऑफ कर्मा के अनुसार उसके जीवन, आगे की जीवन यात्रा पर क्या इफेक्ट पड़ेगा? आई थिंक इट्स क्वाइट ए जनरल।
It takes lot of time.
I think it will take lot of time. Only
We can discuss separately.
We can discuss it separately.
Yes,
but
he will be
still,
there.
Pandey ji is wanting to say one line, so he will say
2-3
one
मिनट।
line.
देखिए, इसके कई असर पड़ते हैं फांसी देने में। जल्लाद का कोई दोष नहीं है, उसको कोई कर्म नहीं मिलेगा, बट पूरी सोसाइटी को मिलेगा, इंक्लूडिंग जुडिशियल सिस्टम, इंक्लूडिंग आवर people who have made the laws, and including many of us who clap this when somebody is given capital punishment. Because उसमें ये चीज़ होती है, जो प्रारब्ध लेके आया है उसको हम निपटाने का टाइम कट शॉर्ट कर रहे हैं। और दूसरी बात यह है कि जितने भी जजमेंट होते हैं कैपिटल पनिशमेंट में, कभी भी ये एविडेंस होता है 100% करेक्ट नहीं होता। इवन जजेस मानते हैं देयर माइट बी चांसेस ऑफ एरर इन द एविडेंस प्रोड्यूस्ड बिफोर द जज। सो उसको हम रिफॉर्म का मौका नहीं देते हैं। और ऐसे कई उदाहरण हैं कि अगर उसको फांसी के बजाय जेल कर दिया जाए तो कई लोग अपने से पश्चाताप फील करते हैं, रिफॉर्म होते हैं। और इसीलिए कई कंट्रीज़ में कैपिटल पनिशमेंट को ख़त्म करने का अभियान चल रहा है, कई कंट्रीज़ में समाप्त भी कर दिया गया है, जैसे पुर्तगाल में जब मुसले में आया था उसको करेंगे। तो दिस इज आवर कॉन्शियसनेस मूविंग इन दैट डायरेक्शन।
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you all for listening to our answers. You may differ, but then it is for all of us to ponder on this issue. Thank you so much for being such a patient listeners.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. I give thanks to other panelists. Thank you.
थैंक यू।